This is really a community thing, and as you guys know from last year, this is a thing where we apply for, we send in a submission of an idea to help our community. State Farm focuses on this money going into local communities to doing what that community needs. We've been doing this for 3 years. All 3 years we've had at least one of our proposals selected to go into the final 200, and then at 200, the country votes. So anybody with an email address in the United States can vote. And I think there were 4.5 million votes cast this year, and the top 40 organizations get $25,000 for their project. So last year we were lucky enough, we won $25,000 for the Elio Center project, which is now off the ground, and it's not open yet, but we've begun work. And that seed money was so critical to making this happen. It gave the project some legitimacy, but it also gave us real money to invest in opening the Elio Center. And we got in this year, and we had 2 submissions received that were accepted this year in the final 200. And our hope was to get them both across the finish line, but we realized kind of halfway through that we may risk either of them making it. So we really encouraged everybody to put their votes into this year's project, and we're calling it was called the Next Million Meals. And the thinking there is that we have talked very, very seriously in this community about doing something about hunger. And many of you guys know, we have this conversation all the time. A lot of people were talking about doing something about hunger. And we thought, we're not gonna talk as much as we're just gonna do. We're gonna get some stuff done. And the Christian Center now serves over 100,000 hot, nutritious meals a year. We serve over 2,000 families and individuals in our campus. And one of the things that we see is the common theme is hunger, that 1 in 4 kids in our neighborhoods are going to bed hungry at night, and that is just untenable for us. So we applied for this, we got it accepted, and you guys delivered, and I'm telling you guys delivered. And the great part about that is that that during that whole process, that's the toughest 10 days. If you work for me, raise your hand. Those are the toughest 10 days to work for me a year, because for those 10 days, we not only got our own votes out and our families' votes, but we called everyone we knew. And when it was just before midnight for 3 years in a row, midnight in Alaska, we're making phone calls to people, our friends who are in Alaska and Portland and Arizona and California, and saying, have you voted, have you voted, have you voted? And that just takes a lot of work. And I'm just so proud, because this is not about us, it's not about the Christian Center. It's about what we do as a community to make a difference in this community. And we could not do it without State Farm and the agents. I know they worked hard, my staff worked hard, but all of you guys. You know, I was at a thing last Thursday, and John Pistol, president of Anderson University, also former head of the NSA, and a guy that rubs elbows with Robert Mueller and all these people, he walks up to me at this meeting and he says, Rob, I'm so proud of the Christian Center. Congratulations on the 25,000. I know you guys are gonna make a difference. And that feels pretty good. He said the first thing they did every morning in his office was he reminded everybody to vote. This is a guy with a lot bigger problems than me and on our little vote, but we did it, and he did it, and that's the reason this happens. So thank you. I just wanna say that overall, just thank you to the community of Anderson. And I wanna introduce, give yourself, yeah. I want to introduce Jim Slavin. He came last year with a big cardboard check. Turns out the bank wouldn't take that. Can't do anything with that, but he also had a little paper check with him that the bank graciously cashed and has allowed us to begin the process of getting the Elio Center open. And I will tell you that resources followed that. You know, people heard the vision, they supported the vision, and then they saw the community come together and vote for the vision, and they said, we're behind this too. And so over this last year, we've continued to gain momentum. We've got the building is underway, we've had our inspections done, and now we're really looking to start getting that off the ground. And we couldn't do that without you guys, and I mean that. And I know we say that a lot, but we just really couldn't do that without you. So Jim, come on up with your big cardboard check. And
I'll leave the cardboard check when the agents come up.
Okay. All right. So Jim, you want to?
Sure. First, let's get this real clear. Every once in a while, and really, this is our 7th year, I think it's only the 2nd time it's happened, there's been 2 causes accepted from really the same organization. And as Rob alluded to, that happened this year. And he got my phone call. What are we doing here? I said, go for both of them. But he said, no, my wife wears the pants in the family. We're going for hers. Needless to say, today, the 25,000 is going her way. So I just want to point that out in this speech, that from day one, he was supporting his wife, which is a good thing. So, but it is a tremendous amount of work. It's tremendous, one, to win it one time. To come back a second time just shows the commitment that this organization, this community has. And it's not easy, guys, because let me tell you, when we got down to that 200 in the voting phase, as Rob knows because he was on many of my pep talks, and I, between Indiana and Kentucky, had 12 potential people out of that. And these guys got emails every day from me. They got anything I could throw at them to help them. But we just kept, that group just kept shrinking, because if by the end of the first 5 days you weren't in the top, say 60, you probably weren't going to make it. But we had 8. Going into the night before, when they shut it off for 24 hours, we had 7. We ended up with 4. As Rob will tell you, he learned real quick after the first year, the weekends and the last 24 hours are deadly. And if you aren't full-blown in every way on those 3 days, you won't make it. So kudos to Robin and his group. Kudos to my agents who know that they also got stuff from me to push it and push it and push it. Because I'm all big about money coming into my territory. I like money staying in Indiana and now Kentucky too, since I picked that up. But these guys, it's a tremendous opportunity here. You know, I had the wonderful blessing last year of being walked through and saw the impact they're having on everyone's life here. And, you know, hunger is a very big thing, not only here in Anderson, but across our country. And to know that all these people are going to be able to have a meal in their stomach, that's huge. So I just hope that what this does is the same thing that it did for Rob last year, that it opens the community's eyes, opens their hearts, opens their checkbooks, and that others will follow State Farm and donate to this program so we keep people fed. With that, I would like my State Farm agents to come up and they get to present the big check.